bid in our auction, you can text CA Wildlife to 76278, or you can visit our event website, cawildlife.givesmart.com, and sign up to participate by clicking Register Now. It will have you fill out some basic information, and then you'll be ready to bid. Once you've registered, click on View Items to check out the auction. When you see an item you like, click on the box to learn more or to bid. Once you decide to bid the minimum amount, which in this example is listed as $70, click the green Bid button. You may also type in a higher bid amount and click Bid. Congratulations, you have bid on an item. To keep an eye on a particular item and see how your bid is doing, click on Watch this item below the bid box. You may also watch any item you're interested in, whether or not you've bid. Once the auction is over, you will be notified about which auction items and packages you have won, and you will be contacted by CWC to determine how you want to receive your items. Happy bidding! bid in our auction, you can text CA Wildlife to 76278, or you can visit our event website, cawildlife.givesmart.com, video.by.givesmart.com and sign up to participate by clicking Register Now. It will have you fill out some basic information and then you'll be ready to bid. Once you've registered, click on View Items to check out the auction. When you see an item you like, click on the box to learn more or to bid. Once you decide to bid the minimum amount, which in this example is listed as $70, click the green Bid button. You may also type in a higher bid amount and click Bid. Congratulations, you have bid on an item. To keep an eye on a particular item and see how your bid is doing, click on Watch this item below the bid box. You may also watch any item you're interested in, whether or not you've bid. Once the auction is over, you will be notified about which auction items and packages you have won, and you will be contacted by CWC to determine how you want to receive your items. Happy bidding!
One of my favorite parts about the 40th anniversary is the sustainability pledge that we're making.
Sustainability is in our DNA. It's what we started with, it's where we are today.
Well, sustainability has always been a huge part of the heart of JPMS. Our goal overall is to just make the world better in any small and big ways that we can. Less plastic use, less trash in the landfill, cleaner air, cleaner water, healthier animals, healthier people. In any way that we can touch, we're trying. Sustainability is also something that's not just one and done. It's a constant evolution, and it's something that's always changing and we're always looking to grow in, whether it's in manufacturing practices, sourcing responsible materials, looking at a cleaner way to manufacture, to produce, any little thing we can do to help the environment, to help the people, the planet, and make our product that much better in the meantime.
Welcome to the California Wildlife Center, located in the Santa Monica Mountains. We care for over 4,300 native California animals each year and over 160 species annually. With 60,000 animals helped since we opened our doors. While most of our animals come from a 50-mile radius, others might be brought to us from over 200 miles away. We are the only facility that is able to rehabilitate mule deer fawn, crows and ravens, marine mammals, raptors, songbirds, and many more, all under one roof. We receive over 30,000 calls each year and rely on a core of over 200 volunteers to support the work we do. We're not a government agency and receive no sustaining funding from any city, county, or federal entity. Instead, we survive on donations from private foundations and members of the public to be able to keep our doors open 365 days a year. Established in 1998, we've grown tremendously in that time. We have over 52 outdoor enclosures and are proud to say that we contribute to the health and diversity of the animals of Southern California for over 20 years. Support California Wildlife Center's treatment of sick, injured, and orphaned wildlife. Make a tax-deductible donation today at cawildlife.org.
Welcome to the first ever California Wildlife Center Feathers, Flippers, and Fur online celebration event. We opened our doors in 1998 and during that time have treated more than 64,000 animals. We take responsibility for the protection of native wildlife through rehabilitation, education, and conservation. We are dedicated to the rescue and rehabilitation of native California species who otherwise would be left to suffer from the effects of human encroachment, habitat destruction, and environmental damage. Hi everyone, I'm Jennifer Brent, Executive Director of California Wildlife Center. Like many of you, the last 400 days have been challenging for us here at California Wildlife Center. We've had to change the way we do intakes, reduce the number of people on staff, but one thing that hasn't changed is the level of care that we give each and every animal. Today's event is the culmination of a week of silent auction items. Know that all the items on the auction have been donated, so 100% of the proceeds go to support the life-saving work that we do. If you haven't done so already, please go to cawildlife.givesmart.com and register to bid. You can also text CA Wildlife to 76278 and it will walk you through the steps in order to bid. For the next 45 minutes, you'll be able to meet some of our staff, our animals, and some of our most famous friends. So with no further ado, please enjoy our show.
Hi, my name's Cambria and I'm a Wildlife Technician Supervisor at California Wildlife Center and the Orphan Care Unit Lead. CWC receives over 1,000 injured and orphaned animals each year.
Many of them are young songbirds. Baby birds often start their journey in our orphan care unit as nestlings, tiny, immobile, helpless babies with only down or pin feathers. At this age, they have to be kept in an incubator, and most need hand or tube feeding every 30 to 90 minutes. Others come in a little later, injured as fledglings. These are fully feathered, able to stand and hop, and beg voraciously for the hand feedings they still require regularly throughout the day. During this critically important time of their life, our patients are carefully monitored to ensure that they are getting enough to eat and are offered opportunities to learn the skills they will need as adults. Many require medical care. Prescriptions for pain relief or antibiotics, bandage changes, and regular exams are provided as needed to ensure they move past their rough start and onto a second chance in the wild. The last step in all orphan patients' stay with us is a period of independence in an outdoor enclosure. There they strengthen their muscles for flight, practice foraging or hunting for food, and prove they are ready for a life on their own. Raising orphan songbirds is a unique and beautiful challenge, and the privilege of seeing these animals fly away is well worth the weeks of care put into each baby's success.
Hello. Oh, I thought I could whisper. I'm Spencer Pratt, a longtime supporter of the California Wildlife Center, and their work is invaluable. I personally am obsessed with hummingbirds, and that's how I got involved with the California Wildlife Center, is because they rescue orphan hummies that need pretty much 24-hour support. There needs to be somebody feeding the baby hummingbirds that come in way less than a penny. Like, they're so freaking small. But they don't just rescue hummingbirds. They have over 4,000 animals. They have a licensed veterinarian on staff. I mean, they have so many volunteers. Hi, sweet homie, get your nectar. But they don't get sustaining government support. So donations and support that you guys do are so important. So make sure you keep supporting the California Wildlife Center. I mean, they help so many animals. I mean, freaking deer and raptors, not like velociraptors, but, you know, foxes, coyotes. Oh, you're so sweet. I love you. And obviously hummies. We love hummies. They get over, I think, 30,000 phone calls a year for people needing information. So, I mean, it's the most beautiful facility. I mean, it's incredible. It's in Malibu in the Santa Monica Mountains. I don't know if you're still allowed to visit with the current COVID protocols, but when COVID, you know, chills out, you definitely got to go see what you're supporting. It's just the most beautiful team. I mean, they serve all of Southern California. Oh my gosh, including patients from Orange County. Where are the hubbies? There's so many hubbies. Oh, here they come. Here they come. Ventura and Kern counties. So, come on, hummies. Oh. Oh. So, yes, please make sure to support. Be quiet. This is just 4 cups boiled water with 1 cup white cane sugar. Never use red dye. But yeah, I need you to support the California Wildlife Center. It is such an incredible organization, and we need them, and they need you. So make sure you support. Oh. Do you hear all the hummies?
To bid in our auction, you can text CA Wildlife to 76278, or you can visit our event website, cawildlife.givesmart.com, and sign up to participate by clicking Register Now. It will have you fill out some basic information, and then you'll be ready to bid. Once you've registered, click on View Items to check out the auction. When you see an item you like, click on the box to learn more or to bid. Once you decide to bid the minimum amount, which in this example is listed as $70, click the green Bid button. You may also type in a higher bid amount and click Bid. Congratulations, you have bid on an item. To keep an eye on a particular item and see how your bid is doing, click on Watch this item below the bid box. You may also watch any item you're interested in, whether or not you've bid. Once the auction is over, you will be notified about which auction items and packages you have won, and you will be contacted by CWC to determine how you want to receive your items. Happy bidding!
The California Wildlife Center has helped more than 4,000 animals a year since its foundation in 1998.
From orphaned hummingbirds to starving elephant seals, their highly skilled staff stands ready to help a diverse group of species at no charge.
Without sustaining government support, they rely on donors like you to keep California's wildlife healthy and flourishing.
We hope that you'll join us and give a donation today. Rooney's reading her lines. I memorized mine, so that's why mine was a little bit more shaky, but just go ahead and pay up.
Hello, I am Heather Henderson, the Marine Program Manager at California Wildlife Center. Welcome to a look into the Marine Mammal Response and Rehabilitation Program. Our marine mammal team responds to all reports of distressed marine mammals along the Malibu coastline, performing up to 400 responses annually, reported by lifeguards, homeowners, and visitors to our beautiful beaches. Every animal is observed on the beach, assessing its body condition, behavior, signs of injury or illness to determine if appropriate to pick up and bring in for care. Then a rescue is performed. Young California sea lions and northern elephant seals are cared for during the busiest stranding months, January through July, at California Wildlife Center. On arrival, each patient is given a full examination, including blood analysis, then provided supportive and medical care necessary to rehydrate and supply essential nutrients. As they gain strength, solid food is provided in the form of herring and squid. Sea lions transition quickly through the stages. Elephant seals require additional steps while learning to swallow. The team of staff and dedicated volunteers guide them through the process. Once at a healthy body weight and medically cleared by the veterinarian, the patients are released back into their natural environment, the Pacific Ocean. Countless hours of hard work, beginning with a caring member of the public who made the report, is geared towards this outcome. It is always exciting to watch them head out for a second chance at thriving. Your support makes our work possible. Thank you.
And if that whetted your appetite, check out our food items in the 600s. We have gift cards to V's Restaurant, to Neptune's Net. We have an amazing gift basket from Trader Joe's, gift cards to Sprouts, and a vegan reboot. Next up, music from AJ McLean from the Backstreet Boys.
Hey everybody, AJ McLean here from the Backstreet Boys. I'm accompanied by my brother from another mother, Mr. Isaiah Levitt on guitar. Thank you to Dr. Lisa for including me in this amazing fundraiser for the California Wildlife Center. I'm a huge animal lover, and we have to, obviously, as much as we can, take care of our wildlife and our animals and just the whole planet, period. So, without further ado, I'm going to do a little ditty for you guys that I think you should know. So if you do know, feel free to sing along. Here we go. Tell me why your fire for one, yeah. Desire, 'cause I know that it's too late, but I want it that way. Tell me why ain't nothing but a heartache. Tell me why ain't nothing but a mistake. Tell me why I never want you to stay. I want it that way. Tell me why ain't nothing but a heartache. Tell me why ain't nothing but a mistake. Tell me why I never want you to stay. I want it that way, 'cause I want it that way. Peace and love, y'all. Thank you.
Hi, my name's Dr. Lisa Newell. I'm a veterinarian in Malibu, California. I have been on the board of directors for the California Wildlife Center for 20 years. Before we had a full-time veterinarian at the center, they would bring injured wildlife to our hospital, and I would do the best I could to try to help to get them to the point where they could be rehabilitated and released. Now we've grown so much, we have full-time veterinarians doing the job that I tried to do all those years ago. I can't tell you how proud I am to be involved with the California Wildlife Center. The work we do it just makes me so happy to see what we've accomplished in this short 22 years. Thank you for being involved with our fundraiser and donating, because it's the only way we have funding to do what we are able to do. We have helped thousands and thousands of animals, native wildlife, and we'd love to be able to continue. And because of you and fundraisers like this, we will. I also want to thank all my very close friends who've helped to make this fundraiser what it is. Thank you, and thank you for participating.
Hello, everybody. It's Brad Garrett. Who? And I just want to thank you for joining us for this very much needed awareness and fundraiser for the California Wildlife Center. It's so important. I'm a native Californian. I grew up you know what, I'm going to tell you something a lot of people don't know. I myself am a rescue. That's right. And Dr. Lisa Newell actually found me in a dumpster. I was 9 hours old behind the synagogue on Valley Circle Boulevard. And she raised me to be a strong, young person. So that's what my message is all about. Do the right thing. You know how important our wildlife animals are, not only to our ecosystem, but when we run away from home, it gives us things to hang out with. That's important, everybody. Take care. Thank you for your generosity, and give. I know I am. Oh, I think I made a stinky.
Thank you, Brad Garrett. And Brad hasn't just agreed to come on to our show, he's also donated an amazing auction item, 4 VIP tickets to his comedy club at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas. If Vegas isn't your thing, we have tons of other great experiences. Surfing classes, cooking classes, a night at Cambria Pines, a weekend in Mammoth. Check them all out. And next up, we have Sheila Kuhl, a longtime supporter of California Wildlife Center and the 3rd District Supervisor for Los Angeles County.
Hi, I'm LA County Supervisor Sheila Kuhl, and I'm really happy to be here to celebrate the California Wildlife Center. For 22 years, the California Wildlife Center has provided tender, loving care to a variety of patients, including orphaned or wounded hummingbirds, songbirds, raptors, coyotes, foxes, deer, elephant seals, and sea lions. The Wildlife Center offers these services free of charge with trained staff who tend to their patients 365 days a year. So thank you so much for being part of this event today. I am truly grateful for your support of this wonderful wildlife institution.
Hi y'all, this is Dennis Heeman, hospital manager here at California Wildlife Center. Today I'm going to talk to you about the kinds of raptors we get in, why we get them, and what we do with them while they're here.
Last year, CWC treated 346 raptors. Everything from tiny burrowing owls to a giant golden eagle came through our doors. The most common raptor we got was a medium-sized Cooper's hawk. These guys hunt songbirds. With their agility and super fast reflexes, they can snatch prey right out of the sky. Seems impossible, but when you work with these high-strung beasts in person, you understand how they can do what they do. If you even look at a Cooper's hawk the wrong way, it will throw a talon or two at you. This makes them very challenging to work with. A question I get asked a lot is, why are raptors brought to CWC? Sadly, almost all come in due to human impact. Some fly into windows, others are hit by cars. Shockingly, we receive about a dozen raptors each year that are shot. Rodenticide poisoning is also a big threat to our urban raptors. When a rat, mouse, or gopher is poisoned and dying, they're a little bit slower and easy to catch. The poison the prey ingests is then passed on to the predator. This poison builds up in the raptor's system, which could lead to its death. So please do not use rodent poison at home. When raptors come in, our skilled wildlife technicians give them thorough exams. They may prescribe anti-inflammatory meds for head trauma or X-ray a broken wing. They may give vitamin K to help reverse the effects of poisoning and anything else they can do to return these birds to the wild. Once in a flight pen, some patients like red-tailed hawks can get a little lazy. Who can blame them, really? They get rodent room service daily. So we have to put them on an exercise regimen. We get them to fly from one end to the other of their 75-foot aviary several times a day. We get dirty looks, but they are more ready for the wild when they leave. So thank you for joining us today. The people who work here and our wild patients really appreciate it. Now go grab a cocktail and check out some of those auction items. Cheers.
Hi everybody, I am Dr. Guthrum Purdon. I'm the veterinarian here at the California Wildlife Center. And today I'm talking about a great horned owl who is a patient of ours. This owl came in with the feathers of the wing, tail, and a little bit on the body really badly burned. We're not sure what caused the burn, but based on the distribution of the injuries, it looks like it was probably from a flare, like from a landfill where it vents methane gas, and that gas is burned off. Occasionally birds get caught in that, and that's what it looks like for this owl. It may have been electrocuted, but it doesn't have the injuries I associate with electrocution. Usually there's an entry wound and then a larger exit wound from where the electricity entered and then exited when it touches like a live wire and then grounds on another wire. The owl initially looked pretty bad, as you might imagine from having its feathers on fire, but it was also neurological. It couldn't stand, its body was kind of twisted, but it took a while. I had a lot of hope for the bird, and that has all resolved. So right now, the owl is looking pretty healthy, despite the burns, can fly pretty well, but it flies loud. Owls fly at night, and they rely on special adaptations of their feathers, which enable them to fly almost completely silently so they can sneak up on their prey. If they make noise, they can't catch their food, and they starve. So he needs to be able to fly very quietly. One of the problems is they only molt out their flight feathers once a year. And that's many months from now. That's going to be in the autumn. And they don't molt all of them every year. So he would still have this deficit in his feathers. So what I'm going to do is what's called imping the feathers. Now, imping is where you take an existing feather, a donor feather, and replace the damaged feather on the patient. It's a really old technique. The earliest reference to it is from about 800 years ago in a falconry text from Central Europe, written by a king. And falconry goes back a couple thousand years, and in the process of that, they've learned how to enable the birds to fly well, even though they have damaged wing feathers, and tail feathers in this case. It's from a Latin word called imponere, which roughly means to implant. So I'm going to be taking an existing feather that's perfect and implanting it in the damaged feather shaft. And the way that works is I'm going to take either a bird's feather that had molted before or a donor feather from another bird. So there was an owl that didn't survive, and I took the feathers from that owl so that it can help with the healing of this one. And those feathers were perfect. I'm going to match them up with the existing like sticks, that is all that's left of the burned feathers, so that they match in terms of length, and so that they'll match in terms of the position, so that when the bird flies, each feather overlays the one next to it, so that it creates sort of a perfect, what's called an airfoil, just the way airplanes fly, so that it kind of scoops the air underneath it and they can take off. So I'm going to measure the donor feather against the burned shaft of the old feather, put a piece of paper so that it blocks out the feathers around it, tape back some of the covert feathers that cover up the shafts of the flight feathers, and then using a hot cautery pen, I'm going to cleanly burn through the shaft of the damaged feather and then burn through the marked shaft of the donor feather. There'll be a bamboo pin that'll be whittled down so that it fits into this narrow space, and then fast setting really strong epoxy that will hold that pin in place. And I use bamboo because it's flexible and can take a lot of stress without breaking. And I use this particular epoxy because it kicks off, hardens really fast, and also really lasts a long time. And once the first one is done, and that paper will keep the glue from attaching to the feathers around it so it stays where it's supposed to be. Then the next feather, I usually do 3 in a set. Then I'll do the next 3, then I'll do the next 3. That gives the epoxy a little time to kick off. And the bird will get some time to recover indoors from the anesthesia, because as you can imagine, this is a very stressful procedure. So we anesthetize them so they're calm and asleep, then some time to recover, overnight in a small aviary to make sure that glue is really hardened, and then back out into the big aviary, and I can see how well it flies, and I can listen for how well it can be silent. And this will take probably a couple steps, once for the tail, once for one wing, once for the other wing, and I might do some spot imping in between those. And then hopefully release just a few days after that.
Hi, I'm Alicia Silverstone, and I'm a longtime supporter of animal welfare. And I am so happy that we have California Wildlife Center in our backyards to help us save animals. Their work here in the Los Angeles area is invaluable. They help over 4,000 animals per year. Everything from California sea lions, songbirds, raptors, coyotes, foxes, deer, hummingbirds, to elephant seals. Please join me in supporting their incredible work.
Hey everybody, Richard Marks here.
Daisy Fuentes Marks here.
And we are very proud and honored to be part of this fundraiser for the California Wildlife Center, which, in case you don't know, they take responsibility for the protection of native wildlife through rehabilitation, education, and conservation.
That's right. It's all about rescue, rehabilitation, release. They're the guys that you call when you have a question about something, right? I think we called them the last time we had raccoons nesting in our yard.
Raccoons, sometimes it's coyotes in the neighborhood, it can be a snake in your garage, stranded seals. They kind of take care of everything.
Yeah.
And they are invaluable, especially for animal lovers who want the best care taken for every living thing.
That's right. They help over 4,000 animals a year. It is quite a task. They don't have government funding. They really rely on donors like you and like us. So it's really important to help out and do what you can. This is really an amazing service, a great organization.
So we hope you join us in supporting them, and any help you can be will be amazing.
Thank you.
And if that made you want to get your body moving, check out our exercise packages. We have yoga classes, boxing, spinning, Pilates, and more. Our next guest is someone you'll surely recognize, Cindy Crawford.
Hi, I'm Cindy Crawford, and a longtime supporter of the California Wildlife Center. Their work with native animals here in the Los Angeles area is crucial. From tiny orphaned hummingbirds to starving elephant seals, they help over 4,000 animals each year. Their facilities have a full-time veterinarian and trained staff to help animals 365 days a year and provide services at no cost. As the center does not receive sustaining government support, they rely on donors like us. To help celebrate their 22nd anniversary, please join me in supporting their invaluable work. Thank you.
Hey everyone, my name is Brandon Boyd. I'm from the band Incubus, and I am a longtime supporter of the California Wildlife Center. Their work with native animals has been invaluable to the Los Angeles area for the last 22 years. Isn't that remarkable? They offer assistance to all manner of creature, from orphaned hummingbirds that weigh less than half a nickel all the way up to starving elephant seals and everything in between. They're an incredible organization, and they do not receive sustaining government support, so they rely on donors like you and I, and I'm happy to support them in their mission because I think they're amazing. So check them out, California Wildlife Center. Love you guys. Peace.
Hi, I'm Cambria. I'm a wildlife technician supervisor for California Wildlife Center and the Orphan Care Unit lead. In spring and early fall, the Orphan Care Unit receives waves of young mammals from the public and from our network of home care rehabilitators.
Many infant mammals, such as Virginia opossums and California ground squirrels, grow quickly and adapt well to a large facility setting. They are tube or hand-fed every 3 to 6 hours until weaned and offered plenty of opportunities to exercise and learn to eat on their own. A hands-off approach allows them to bond with each other and maintain their wild state. Some species, like squirrels, need a little more individualized attention at a young age. If an orphaned or injured eastern fox squirrel requires feedings beyond the sunrise to sunset staffing available at the center, they are cared for by an experienced volunteer dedicated to their species until they are old enough to join foster family groups at CWC. Once all individuals in a group of babies are eating on their own and have been treated for any injuries or disease, they are moved out for a stay in an outdoor enclosure. There, they learn to climb, hide, and to adapt to long hot days and cool nights. When they have reached sturdy sizes and healthy weights, their release locations are carefully selected to ensure they have a strong start as they set out on their own.
How's it going? My name is Brandon Jenner. The California Wildlife Center is an awesome organization, and it's a real pleasure to be here with you. I hope you guys are having a nice time. I'm going to play one song for you. It's called There You Are. It came out recently. It's technically my latest song to come out, so it's fitting. Hope you guys enjoy it. Proud man doesn't hear you. It only matters how he feels. A used man don't have much to say. Tires gone, he's riding rough on wheels. And neither knows what peace feels like, chasing what is right around the bend. Chalk it up to, well, that's life. Happiness hiding in the wind. Slow your horses down. Wherever you go, there you are. The ground is cracking under all of us. The river's stopping short of home. Time has got us chasing our own tails. We run around in circles on our own. Close your eyes and hear your mind. Let yourself be still and you'll transcend. Those little thoughts are the biggest lies. A con man disguised as your best friend. Slow your horses down. Wherever you go, there you are. And lay your body down. Whatever you know, that's who you are. Those age-old lines in the mirror, them scars have never been so bold. But beauty in the eye of another is forever cold. Slow your horses down. Wherever you go, there you are. And lay your body down. Whatever you know, that's who you are. Thank you guys very much. Have a good night. Bye.
Hey everyone, I'm Leanne Rhymes. I am so grateful for California wildlife. You know, living in the neighborhood we live in, there's constantly, beautiful wildlife around, and you never know when you're going to come across one that has been injured or that is sick. And to be honest, until a few months ago, I didn't even know California wildlife existed because I've never had to take an animal in, but there was an owl in our backyard, and unfortunately he didn't make it. But they took fantastic care of him. They welcomed him in and went right to work on trying to take care of him. So I'm glad this exists in my backyard. They're not too far away actually, and it's wonderful to see that they are there to help preserve our wildlife and nature, and I'm so very grateful. So thank you for the work that you do. You're very much appreciated.
Please join me in supporting California Wildlife Center and their efforts to help our native animals here in California. Thank you so much.
Hey everybody, it's Brooke Burke, and I am so happy to support the California Wildlife Center, doing such great work for so many years. It is our 22nd anniversary. We've been here since 1996, near and dear to my heart, so please find it in yours to support and make a difference. There are so many animals, so much wildlife out there that needs our help.
Hi, I'm Brittany Moser, one of the wildlife technicians in our ICU at the California Wildlife Center. CWC accepts hundreds of orphan mammals each year. The ICU is responsible for the care of our larger mammals and rabies vector species. When an orphan patient arrives, technicians perform a thorough exam to assess their overall health, treat injuries, and perform medical treatments when necessary. From that point on, we focus on their development and rehabilitation. In 2020, we admitted 17 stinkin' cute skunks, 3 crafty gray foxes, 8 howlin' coyotes, and 3 feisty bobcat kittens. Rabies vector species are housed in a separate area, and humans require a vaccine in order to handle them. When a young orphan arrives, they are hand-fed formula and gradually transition to solid foods. Wildlife are naturally afraid of people, so we limit human interaction to keep their natural instinct to avoid humans. We use cameras mounted inside the enclosures to keep an eye on sensitive species without risking habituation. Staff and volunteers are trained to recognize defensive behaviors and warning signals, such as the way skunks will stomp their feet or flick their fluffy tail, so we are prepared to be sprayed. Once a patient is stabilized and self-feeding, they will move to an outdoor enclosure. Here we provide enrichment throughout their environment to encourage foraging and natural behaviors to develop their independence for a successful release. We also rehabilitate larger mammals.
CWC is the only facility authorized to care for orphan mule deer in LA County. Our staff are trained to help the public avoid accidental kidnappings, since sometimes it's hard to recognize when a fawn is ill or just resting while their mother is out searching for food. Fawns that are sick, unable to be reunited, or injured are transferred to us. On average, we receive 6 to 8 fawns each year. As they are one of our most sensitive species, we limit contact with them to minimize their risk of habituation. We quickly direct them to drink from a bottle rack until they are mature enough to be weaned to an adult diet. Fawns are the only patients that we soft release on site, supplying food and water for a period of time while they acclimate to their new wildlife.
Hi, I'm Casey. I'm the stranding coordinator here at California Wildlife Center. Today we have 4 sea lion patients. All of our patients right now are pups, which means they've come in at around 8 months old, and we picked up all of our patients from beaches here in Malibu. Our patients have stranded because they're malnourished and underweight, so we brought them back to the center to help them kind of gain the weight and get back to where they need to be. Our sea lions have graduated from electrolytes, which is like sea lion Gatorade, to gruel, which is like a sea lion fish smoothie, and now they're eating whole fish. So today we're feeding our sea lions herring. Herring is a really fatty and nutrient-rich fish. And what they're doing in this enclosure is they're free feeding. So what's gonna happen is they're gonna be able to dive to the bottom of the pool and get their fish. This allows for foraging behaviors and competition, all things our animals need to learn in order to be successful out in the wild. And over in this enclosure, our animal is feeding by herself. And this is because we just want to make sure that she has the opportunity to get her whole entire diet, eating well, and to allow the animal to feed without being competed. Our animals hit key milestones like being able to compete with each other, being able to dive, and also a weight milestone. Once they've hit this weight and this competition milestone, we will release them back out into their ocean home.
Sam and I have lived in Malibu for a long time, and one of the biggest appeals to living here is the close proximity we have to the various wildlife. We're very fortunate that the California Wildlife Center is here, so that whenever we see an animal in distress and don't know what to do, we have someone to call, and everybody volunteers there. So bless them, and bless all of you for contributing.
Yeah. This may be a virtual fundraiser that we're being part of here today, but there isn't anything virtual about the work that the California Wildlife Center does. Whether it's the kids that are cleaning the cages and feeding the animals, or the doctors that are volunteering their time to make the animals well. So, everybody's there for the same reason, and I believe that it's for the love of the animals. That's another thing that's part of Southern California. Whether it's, we're not talking about domesticated animals. A lot of us have domesticated animals that we care for, but the wildlife gets short shrift, whether because of the fires, because of encroachment and development, or whatever reason. There's a lot of reasons that they need our help. And the people at the California Wildlife Center are there to help. And they're not there to make money. They operate on a tight margin, I suppose, and it's all through contributions from the public that keep it in action. So I encourage you, Catherine and I both encourage you to step up and be part of those that are contributing to it, and the cause that they, it's an incredible cause, and that's well worth our time. We're in a tough time these days, and it's money short for a lot of people, and again, I think the wildlife gets a short shrift, so if you can find it possible somehow to make a contribution, reach out and try to do it for them. Thank you.
Thank you, Sam Elliott and Catherine Ross. And that concludes our program. So please visit cawildlife.givesmart.com. You have just over an hour to conclude your bidding. I'd be remiss if I didn't thank our sponsors, John Paul Mitchell Systems, Quigley Simpson, and Common Good Advisors. I'd also like to thank our board of directors, all of the companies and individual artists who donated to our amazing auction, to our event committee, and to all of you for tuning in. Thank you and have a wonderful day.